Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel GoodGS and Google Earth Engine. So in today's video, we are gonna see how we can create buffers around any polygon or the area. So the buffers are usually created around the forest areas or the protected areas where we have kind of economic eco-sensitive zones. So around the fringe of the forest area where no economical activities can be carried out. So in those areas, we'll have a buffer zone. For example, we'll have 2 kilometer, 100 kilometers buffer zone or 10-kilometer buffer zone in the Western Ghats are also there. So like that, we can create a buffer in the Google Earth Engine. So for any polygon or the area. So we'll see how we can create that. So firstly, we are gonna go to our region of interest. So I'm switching to satellite mode in order to detect the forest area. So you can just zoom into the Western Ghats region, and here you'll see these are all the forest region. So I'm just selecting draw polygon tool, and I will just draw a polygon. So yeah, like for example, this is my forest area and around which I have to create a buffer now. So my region of interest is imported. You can rename it as ROI. So you can just uncheck this, and we'll add this to our map dot add layer region of interest, and you can leave the visualization parameters for default and rename it as ROI. So yeah, now you can see our area of interest is loaded. You can zoom in if you want, and after this, now we can style it if you want. So I have shown in the previous video also how to style. So we can use dot style function in order to style and feature collection or a geometry. So dot style function. So you will have uh, the parameters you have to give, like I'll give the color to be, let's say, green, and I'll also add the fill color parameter. This should be the green, and the outline color should be let's say white. So green, G should be small. So now you can give it a run. So we have an error because it's a geometry, so we need to make it a feature collection. So we create a variable called ROI, and you can rename it as just polygon, and variable ROI is equal to EE dot feature collection, and feature collection or simply have the feature, and our geometry is polygon. So now you can click on the run. Our region of interest is loaded. So green is doesn't looking good, so you just make it transparent. So to make it transparent, we use the octocode. So this is the octocode for the transparent fill color. So yeah, now our region of interest is ready, and with a white outline and a transparent background fill color. So now we'll add the buffer. So you can just go to the documentary and search buffer. So here you have a feature where you have a function called buffer. You just open the documentary, and you just read it. So it will return an the returns the input buffered by given a distance. So it means you have to give the distance for how much long a buffer should be, and rest all parameters are uh, they are optional. So it is in the italics. So remember, whichever arguments are written in the italics are all optional. So you can either give it or it will be have the default values. So now let's create a variable called buffer, and we have our region of interest for which we have to create a buffer. So you can always use the control plus space button in order to autofill the arguments. So now you see we need to give the distance. So we'll leave the rest of thing for default, and the distance should be, let's say, it's in the meters. So let's check once again. So here you see the distance of the buffering, for which may be negative, and if no projection is specified, and units are in meters. So you need to give it in meters. So 10,000 means we have, so let's make it 1,000 in order to have 1 kilometer buffer zone. If you want 10 kilometers, then you need to modify in meters. So after this, just our buffer is ready, and you can add this to layer with the use of the function map.add layer, and you can rename it as buffer and click on the run. So here it should be a feature, so let's or it can be a geometry, so let's make it polygon. Yeah, now it's loading. So yeah, now clearly you can see the buffer is there, and we have created the buffer which has a 1 kilometer distance from our mainland. So you can change the layer settings to modify the colors or anything you want, and this is how you can create a buffer. So in order to export it, you can always use the uh, export.table to drive function in order to export this. Yeah, this is the function which you can use in order to export into your Google Drive this buffer. So you can export it in the KML or shapefile format. So you see what are all the arguments required, like collection is required, description and folder is required, and the format also you can fill it in, and then a task will appear, and you can just click on it in order to get it in your Google Drive. So I hope you have understood how to create a buffer inside a polygon, uh, not inside the polygon, around the polygon, like this, and how to render a feature collection with the use of the function dot style. So guys, if you have any kind of doubt, you can always post in the comment section. Thank you for watching.